welcome back to another episode of the Boone County Beekeeper. Now, as you can see, today we are not in the bee yard. We finally have gotten some rain. We've had the awfulest drought that you've ever seen. It's really been bad. The governor, he's actually called for a state of emergency due to the drought. You know, a lot of the crops are dying. It's really been bad. We've not had rain in quite a while, so I'm glad to see the rain. We need a lot more. I don't think we're going to get enough, but at least this is a start. So today I got something a little bit different for you here, and you may or may not be interested. I don't know. Some of you may, some of you may not, but that's what we got today. So today what I want to do, if you know me, you know that well, first of all, you know I like to eat. So, not only that, I'll tell you, if you know me at all, you know that I like to cook. And I know that may be odd to some people, you know, a man cooking, but I do. I love to cook. I love to bake. I love to can and do the things like that. I tell you, I was raised that way. My mom, she was a wonderful cook, and me and her spent a lot of time making jelly and preserves and canning things, and I tell you, it brings back a lot of memories, and I miss her, I really do, and that just is something that I enjoy, and it brings back a lot of wonderful memories with her. And if you are lucky enough to have your family and your parents are still alive, let me tell you, guys, enjoy it, because one day they will be gone, and you will wish that they were still around. I couldn't tell you the times that I've picked my phone up to call my mom and then having to think, well, I can't. So if you're blessed enough to have them, enjoy it, because one of these days you won't be that lucky. So let me tell you what we got going on here today. I'm going to do something today. It's not honey related whatsoever, but I've told you before, you know, these old ways, canning and making things, and like apple butter and jelly and stuff like that. I'm telling you guys, this younger generation, and I know I've said it a million times, I worry because I think when something happens to this generation, these things may go with us, because I'm going to be honest, it seems like they just do not worry about it. They don't care. And I hate to see these things die. Let me tell you, you are not going to buy anything out of the store. It's just like honey. You can't buy real honey from a grocery store, you know. You need to buy real honey from a local beekeeper or a store that actually sells local honey. And it's the same way with apple butter and jelly and things like that. Yeah, this stuff may be good, but what in the world is in there? What are they putting in it? We don't know, you know. And we don't know. And this way you know what's in it, and I'm going to tell you, the taste is amazing. Now, before we start, I want to tell you, we're going to make apple butter, but this is not my recipe. This recipe come off of YouTube. It's a gal that I watch a lot, and her name's Leslie, and she is the Farming Pastor's Wife, and I'm going to give a shout out to her, and I'm going to tag her on this as well. I watch a lot of her videos. She cooks some great stuff. She sure does. And I've made apple butter a lot of different ways. But this recipe here is so simple. And I'm going to tell you, it's almost, it's foolproof. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just, every time that I've made it, it's turned out wonderful. And it's just, I don't know. It's just a good recipe. It's not a real strong cinnamon taste, not strong with the cloves and all that. It seems to be just right. Now, I don't know if you can see over here, but what I have in my sink, I have half a bushel of apples, and I have found a half a bushel right at it. I make mine in a crock pot, so time I get those cut up and cooked down, and I use a food meal, I'll show you here in a minute. That half a bushel will give me about one full crock pot full of apple sauce, and that's what we'll make our apple butter with. Now, these right here are Macintosh, mostly Macintosh. It's got a few Golden Delicious mixed in with them. I like to mix my apples a lot of times for apple butter. And what we're making here today is I've got apple butter in my shelf in there, and I've done made one batch for Christmas. So this is the rest of it for Christmas is what this is going to be. We're going to put it in little half-pint jars, and I like to give that to people at church there for Christmas presents. So good rainy day. Thought we'd go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get set up here and we'll get started. And I'm going to make this a two-part video. Now, this video here will be strictly on the recipe and on the actual making of the apple butter. And it's going to take us, I'm telling you, it'll be tomorrow night before it's done. This is something you don't want to start if you don't have some time. I'll show you why here in a little bit. I like to cook mine really slow. Seems like it gives it a better flavor. But you got to have a little time, that's for sure, to do this. So, but this video right here will be strictly on the making of the apple butter. And then on the next video, part 2, we'll get into the actual canning part. And we'll get into that a little bit later. That's something else that I really enjoy is canning. So, with that being said, let me get everything lined up here. I've got a few things set out here, and listen, I'll say this, I don't have a big fancy kitchen. I don't have a big fancy kitchen. My old kitchen, I'd love to have a new kitchen, and one of these days, if the good Lord's willing, I may get me a new kitchen. But I want to tell you, they're expensive. But I'd love to have some new cabinets and a new stove and all that. So, excuse my mess. I've been cutting up apples here, putting some in the freezer all morning. So, got a little bit of a mess here. So just look over that. But we'll see what we can do. So just hang tight, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. So we're back, and I'm gonna tell you what. I'm not gonna stand here and bore you to death watching me cut up a half a bushel of apples. I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to show you what we're going to do. See, these are the Macintosh. They're a good apple. They're good for apple butter. They're good for frying. They're good for just about anything. Good eating apple. So what I do is I don't peel. Like I said, I don't peel my apples. I just wash them good, and I'll show you how I do it. And I just basically just cut them into quarters like this. Cut it away from the core. And what I have right here, I have a bowl here that I'm gonna put my core in this old pot. I'll tell you why here in a minute. I have a bowl here that's got some water and a little bit of lemon juice. And I know you probably don't have to do that because they're going to turn brown anyway. You actually want them to turn brown, but I don't want them to turn brown before we start. Now, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to continue to do this the whole entire way through and do the whole half bushel and keep them cores, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But I'm not going to make you stand here and watch me peel apples, or not peel apples, cut up apples. So let me get all this done, and then I will come back, and then we'll start from there. Now let me tell you about these cores. Why am I saving these cores? Well, as I told you a while ago, I have actually been freezing apples. Golden Delicious. I love fried apples, man, and I got a good recipe for that too. If you like fried apples, I got a Cracker Barrel copycat, I guess you could say, and I'm gonna tell you what my wife says. She would never say it on camera, but she said they're better than Cracker Barrel. So what I do is I save all my peelings. Now I do, when I freeze them, you know, I go ahead and peel them, which I have an apple peeler here. But I save all my peelings and I save my cores like this right here. And I've got 2 big gallon bagfuls out there. And I take that and I don't waste anything. You know what I do with that? I make jelly out of that. Man, that makes some wonderful apple jelly. It does. So I'm gonna throw these cores in with what I've got out there. So that's why I'm saving them. If you're not gonna do anything like that, you just dispose of it. No big deal. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera off, and when I get all these cut up, let's see, it's right now, looks like it's about 25 after 4. And my plan is to hopefully start making this about 6 or 7 o'clock. That would be just about perfect on the time. So I will be back, guys, in just a minute when we get all these cut up. So hang tight. Alright, guys, let me show you what we got here. So this is not all of them. This is about maybe just a little better than half. As you can see, I've cut them up, and I've got them in this lemon water. And what I'm going to do now, get you a good heavy pot. I'm going to put just about I'm going to say probably about an inch of water or so in the bottom of your pot. You don't want a whole lot of water. That's probably good. And we'll go ahead and, I don't have a microphone, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move you over here, and then we'll start from there. Hang on. So guys, I guess you can see me. I'm going to turn this on high, and what I've got about an inch of water here in this pot, and I'm just going to go ahead and transfer these apples over into this pot with that water in it. I usually do about 2 batches, half and half. Let me tell you what, this makes your house smell wonderful too. So, there we go. Let me put this pot back over here. Get me a paper towel. Something to stir with, hang on. So now basically what we're going to do, we're just going to boil these down. Let me we'll put that lid on. And we'll get them soft. Some people say fork tender, I guess you could say. We just get them a little bit soft. And then this right here while we're waiting on this is a food meal. And I don't know if you have a food meal. You can get them on Amazon. You can come 3 different size screen. This is the smallest size. But basically what you do is you put your apples down in here, and you turn this around, and it will mash all that apple sauce out, and it'll come through the bottom. And what you have left in here, you'll have the peelings. Believe it or not, it'll take those peelings right off of them apples. They say that is really where your nutrients are, and that kind of is what gives it a really good color. But I know a lot of people will take one of what they call an emergent blender, and they'll use that on down in the crock pot. I know some people that go ahead and they will actually go ahead and they will peel their apples and do it that way, and then use a mixer or whatever. But we're just going to bring this up to a boil, and I'll go ahead, I'm not going to bore you to death. We'll let it heat up, and then when it gets about right, I'll show you what we got, and we'll go from there. So hang tight. Alright guys, so we finally got it up to a boil, and I'm going to tell you, it doesn't take long with this right here. So you want your apples to be just a little on the soft side. We'll let them go just another minute or two. It just takes 5 or 10 minutes and you're ready to go. Turn that heat down just a little bit. Now, like I said, you can use basically any kind of apple. Probably one of my favorites so far has been the Gala apples. Man, they are a really good apple for apple butter. And but I like trying different ones. I guess probably my favorite apple for eating and making pies with and stuff would have to be the, you're going to shoot me, the Granny Smith. Man, I love a Granny Smith. That little bit of a tart flavor, I love it. So, yeah, I don't know if you'll be interested in this video or not. If you don't care, leave me a comment if you want to see some more things like this. Might be something good to do through the winter time to pass some time away. But we're going to let these cook another minute or two. I'll clean my mess back up. I've been cutting apples while these was boiling. I'll clean my mess back up. We'll come back on here and I'll show you how this food mill works. Then we'll kind of go from there. So hang tight. Alright guys, I think we're good and done now. So we'll turn that off and slide that off the heat for just a minute. Maybe a little too done, really. It's okay. We'll make do. So I said, this is your food meal, and basically what I do, I just put it over top of a bowl. I'll show you here. I put my few scoops in. Basically, you can see right there is what it is. So I'll just go ahead and start twisting it around. And what that'll do, that gives you some really pretty applesauce. You can go back the other way. One thing I don't have, you get you a with scraper. Make sure you get it all. Oh, it smells good, man. Ooh. Smells like Christmas. Smells like Christmas. Got one there that don't like it, looks like it cooked very good. We'll keep working on it. You know, if you get to watch this farming pastor's life, well, let me know. I'll tell you what, I enjoy your channel. I do. You really have some good recipes on there. We've done a lot of them. But this apple butter is one amazing. So, all right, let me show you what we got here. So, we'll go backwards so we can see it. So, as you can see, that has actually got everything out except for the peeling. See that? And make a mess here. But let me show you. So right here, as you can see, there is your applesauce. That's what you actually gonna make the apple butter out of is apple. Now listen, you can just make applesauce. A lot of people do that. Put a little cinnamon in there, maybe a little sugar. Now, let me say this. I will tell you this too. If something was to happen that you made this and you didn't have enough to fill up your crock pot, you can go to the store and buy a good name brand if you do. But get a jar of unsweetened, and that's gonna be unsweetened applesauce, and you can add that to it, and that will give you enough. I've had to do that a time or two. May have to do it here tonight. Don't know. But tell you what, I'm not gonna bore you here watching me grind all those together. So let me get it all done. It'll be a while, and then when we get it in our crock pot, we'll come back and we'll start cooking. And I'll be back on in just a minute. Hang on. Alright guys, we're back. So right there is what half of a bushel of apples looks like after it's been cooked and through the food mill. Now, you can see that really makes some beautiful applesauce, and a lot of people they make their own applesauce, so you can do that. Now, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our ingredients in, but we're not gonna completely do everything today, and I'll tell you about that later. So we're gonna start out. We got our pot pretty well full, and I'm gonna go ahead and go on low for a little while. But I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna put 2 cups of sugar in. 2 cups of sugar. Okay. So we'll stir that in just a little bit. Try not to make too much of a mess here. So 2 cups of sugar to start with. Alright, we'll start some more here in just a minute. Alright, then the next thing you want is we want 2 tablespoons. Let me get another. 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Make sure we have 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. So that's what we'll do right here. Get it here so I don't pour it all over the place. And it's just what I was afraid of. I poured it everywhere. So 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, okay? Let me get it over top of this. So right there's 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, alright? And then we'll go 1 teaspoon of cloves, ground cloves. Now cloves is pretty strong, so you don't want to overdo it with that. So there's ground cloves right there. Alright. And then we go half of a teaspoon. Half of a teaspoon. And there's my phone. Hang on. Alright, sorry about that. My phone rang. Then we'll go half of a teaspoon of allspice, ground allspice. Right there it is. So we'll go ahead and sprinkle that around. We'll go ahead, and that's all we're going to do to it today. We're going to go ahead, we're going to stir this in, and we're going to cook it. And I'll tell you how I do this. It takes a long time to cook down. What I do is, you see right now it's 6:04 in the evening. That's about when I like to start, at 6 or 7 o'clock. And what I will do now is I will cook this tonight, all night on low. And it will not cook down very much. It just barely will, really, to be honest with you. It'll look pretty much like this in the morning. But I think what that does is it gives it a good chance for those spices and all that stuff from them apples to gel together. And it really makes it good. So I cook it all night, and I'll get up in the morning probably about 6:30, and then I will flip it over on high, and we're going to vent it. I'll show you this here in just a minute. We'll vent it, and probably about 12 hours tomorrow, 10 to 12 hours, cooking on high, and we will be ready to go. So that's all I'm going to do to it right now. So let me get this other little spatula. We'll go right here, we'll get this cleaned up. Alright? Just like that. Make sure you got everything in the pot. Okay, so we'll just let that cook. Now, what I will do is I'm just going to lay this lid on here. Let me get me a wooden spoon. Hold on. So now for tonight, what I'll do is I will put it just like that, just barely venting that on one side. Now tomorrow, when I put it on high, what I'll do is I'll vent it like that. We'll put it where it can really escape. But for tonight, I want it to cook down a little bit. We'll put it right there just like that, and we'll just leave it on low, and we'll let it go. So I've got to clean my mess up, guys. So that's basically it. Now when we get up in the morning, what we'll do is we'll add 2 more cups of sugar and just let it cook and stir it every now and then. That's all that we got to do. It's all just about the timing, and then just let the spices get in there with it. And it'll really start getting dark tomorrow afternoon. So that's all we're going to do tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and clean my mess up, and I will see you in the morning. I don't know what time, but I will see you when I get up. So good night, everybody. Okay guys, so it's the next morning. It's about 7:20 in the morning. As you can see, it's turned a whole lot more brown. And I want to apologize for yesterday's last video there, last part of the video. With this light right here, I found out that you can't really see. So you can see it's turning a good brown color down. And we're getting ready to turn it up because it's still got a lot of water on it. So what we're going to do is one more thing. We have here 2 cups of sugar. We're going to go ahead and add that 2 cups of sugar this morning. And then we're going to stir it real good. And we are going to put it on high. And we're going to vent it. And we're going to really do some cooking here today. I hear my cat in the background. I'm sorry about that. Sure is pretty color. And it'll get even more brown as we go on. So it's right now about 20 after 7 in the morning. We'll turn him on high and just let him cook. And it'll probably be about 6 or 7 o'clock this evening before it's completely done. So we'll check in a couple times here today and see what it does. So, alright, so let me show you how we're going to vent it today. Hold on, let me get another spoon. So today what we're going to do, we're going to do it just like this. I like to turn it up on high, and we'll vent it right here like this. So let's go here, and now it's going to high. My cat's going crazy, I'm sorry. She feels good this morning. Okay, so we're just going to let it cook and we'll see what happens. So we'll be back after a while, guys. That's it. Alright guys, we're back. It's the next evening, and you can see here it is about 5:30. So right at 24 hours. So you can see it has changed its color. It's a really dark looking brown. I've already sampled it. It really does taste great. So great recipe. So all that's left now is to can it up, and that's what we'll do now. All right, guys. So basically that's it. That's the video. I was going to go ahead and do a part 2 on the canning, and we'll wait till another day and do some canning. We got plenty of time this winter to do some canning, but my wife, she just got home. Kitchen's a mess, so I better get in there and clean my mess up. So hey, listen, let me know if this is something that interests you. It's something that I do enjoy. Like I said, you know, I enjoy all the old ways, the canning and the baking and all that. I do, and I do worry, you know, this younger generation, they're just not going to carry it on. So hopefully maybe somebody will see this video, maybe it'll make them want to do a little canning, making a little apple butter, who knows. But it turned out great. Got, let's see, I got 14 jars, half-pint jars is what it made. And actually got them in the canner in there right now. So be good Christmas presents. So spoiler alert, if you're on here, that's probably what you're going to get for Christmas. But guys, let me know what you thought. Just give me your ideas, what you thought, and we'll get back into bees probably tomorrow. I'm going to go up. I've got some things I need to do. I need to check on a couple. We finally got some good weather here. It's finally quit raining. So I need to go back up and give them a little more food. The knotweed is still coming in, but they are eating their food. I fed them once this week already. Need to give them another oxalic acid treatment right away. So if I don't get to do that tomorrow, I'll try to do it next weekend. So bees are not done. We're still fooling the bees, just not a lot going on, feeding and treating, like I said, getting everybody ready for winter. So guys, that's it, and been a long drawn out video, I know, but jumped around a lot. I don't know, maybe you got something out of it. I know that I did. I like to eat apple, but I made 13 jars and saved me one back, so that's good. I have some on biscuits in the morning. So guys, that's it. Till next time, this is Tim, and I'd like to say God bless you, God bless your family, God bless your bees. I hope you and your family's well, and I hope your bees are doing well. I hope that everything's going good in your life. And guys, get out there and check your bees. It's a very important time. They'll starve. You know, top all that honey off of there. And if you've not been feeding them, then there's not a lot coming in. They're not going to make it through the winter. So you better start feeding them. Get out there, and if you didn't leave them enough honey, make sure that they're heavy going into winter. Make sure them mite counts are down as well. That's the main two things, starvation and mites. So be sure to get out there and check on them. Guys, appreciate you being here. Something a little different. Good way to spend a good rainy day or two. So, and the house smells pretty good as well. So until next time, guys, this is Tim, the Boone County Beekeeper. Thanks for stopping by.